And I am not naturally necessarily a leader in every area. I was quite a follower in high school. I didn't want to, I didn't want to do anything that made me stand out. I wanted to fit in. I was not somebody that was, go against the flow. But you don't have to have that as a natural tendency to be successful. Some of the greatest coaches I know are introverts, and so they aren't natural leaders in the true sense of the word. So don't limit yourself by putting yourself in a box and thinking that you're not a good leader, because most of the time you probably are. You're just limiting yourself from a mindset perspective. I talk about this with my team a lot. When we don't believe that we have something to offer someone, then they will perceive that. If you don't feel like you have something to offer someone with your team, whether you have no coaches and you're just a baby, because we all start the same, if you don't feel that you have something to offer them, they're going to feel that, and they're going to perceive that in their conversations and the way that you speak with them. One-on-one calls are literally my most terrifying thing that I do in my business. I am so scared of one-on-one calls with my coaches because I still doubt myself as a leader. But they know, like, I talk about that. I'm like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing, but you know what? I promise I'm going to be here for you, and we're going to figure it out together. And so, I got off on a one-on-one call this week with, it was actually my first, 3-on-1, one of my coaches and her first coach. So I was able to help lead that, and it was so kick butt, and I was so on fire afterwards. I was like, why do I doubt myself? Like, I know that I'm capable of this. But it all goes back to mindset. So if you don't believe that you have something to offer them, then they're not going to believe it either. The last part about mindset is, do you truly believe that what we stand for as coaches? At the end of the day, do you believe in our mission as Beachbody? Do you believe in the products? Do you believe in what your mission is in your why? Share boldly with that and don't apologize, because that is going to lead. The more boldly that you lead with, the more success that you're going to see. Okay, so confidence is key. This kind of goes hand in hand with mindset. When you're having conversations, whether it be with potential customers or potential challengers, or whoever it might be that you're speaking with, if you're having these conversations, you should be the guide of the conversations. Take charge and lead them to where you want the end result to be. So a lot of times what I see my coaches doing, they're having a conversation that goes back and forth, but they don't end it in a question, and they don't navigate the conversation. They let the person they're talking to be the one who drives the conversation. So an example of this is someone reaches out to you and says they want information, or you send somebody an invite. That's probably a better example. You send somebody an invite to be in your challenge group, and they're like, yeah, I want info. And you send them a little bit, and you ask them a question, and they're like, yeah, I like to eat. And you have to be the one to drive the conversation. That conversation can still end up where you want it to be, but if you continue with one-word responses like they are, it's not going to go anywhere. So be the guide in your conversations. And that goes for coaching too. If you're having a call with a potential coach, be the guide in that. Say, what are your dreams? What are your goals? Why do you want to do this? Get deeper into that and be the one who guides the conversation, because they're going to view you as a leader in that respect. Be knowledgeable. So this is one thing that I've really worked with my team on, is be knowledgeable about what you're offering as a coach, what you're offering as a leader, and what our products stand for. If you are not knowledgeable about Shakeology, the people that you're talking to are going to know that, because you're not going to be sharing with confidence. So the more independent research that you do on either our compensation plan, someone asked you, how do you earn income? What would you say? Well, if you don't know the compensation plan, you can't tell them. And so therefore, they're not going to feel very confident in choosing you as a coach. So the more knowledgeable that you are with what you're offering, whether that be as a challenge pack or as a coach, the more they're going to feel comfortable choosing you as their coach. Because they will perceive your uncertainty if you aren't leading with confidence. And fake that crap. Like, if you don't really know, just fake it. Personal development. I'm not going to touch on this. it's people think it's beating a dead horse, but I can promise you, you're not doing personal development, you will struggle in this area. So just do it, share it, and be bold about it. So now one of the biggest pieces for me, in my opinion, is how to share on your social media to attract these builders, okay? If you don't share, so this is one thing I really want you to take home. If you don't share the business, you will not build a business. And that's something that my team, like I have builders on my team. I have like freaking rock star coaches on my team, and I have people who really struggle on my team. And I can tell you, I can look at their social media and I can tell you that the ones who are thriving are the ones who are sharing boldly about the business too. They're not just limiting themselves to a workout selfie or if they post a Shakeology selfie, I go crazy. So they don't do that. But if you don't share the business, you won't build a business. And it's really important to remember that. So here are some tips and tricks. For me personally, every coach recruits differently. My life changed because of a challenge group. So I lead with the challenge group. Challenge groups are something I'm super passionate about, something that I feel it's one of my strongest assets in my business. And I use that to my advantage when it comes to recruiting. So I recruit directly from my challenge groups, but I use my social media to do so. Because those people who joined you in your challenge groups are going to pay hyper attention to your social media. Those are going to be the people that are liking and commenting and paying attention to what you're posting. So those are the people that you're most likely going to be speaking to and who will most likely turn into coaches. So find ways to share the coaching journey in snippets. So what do I mean by that? I mean, some people think that you have to share coaching in these big income posts and this is what I make and da 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 da. And I really highly disagree with that. I think there is an appropriate time and place for that. Like we do need to be sharing that. But if you are related to somebody else in a way that they can implement it in their life, that could change their life, they're going to be more inclined to want to join your team. So for me, I'm still not making the big bucks, you know, I'm still not making crazy amounts of money, but I'm making what my family needs in order for me to stay home. Mm-hmm. And so I relate it to, you know, I'll do posts like, you know, I'll take a picture of Aiden playing outside. That's my son. Aiden playing outside in front of our house. And I'll post a picture and I'll talk just a little bit about what our day was. And at the end, I'll add a little snippet and say, I'm seriously so thankful for this house because had we been on the same financial path that we were a year and a half ago, we would probably be in foreclosure right now. Thankfully, this week's paycheck from my coaching business paid for our mortgage in full. And so being able to share your story, but weave in the fact that Beachbody you are actually earning money, even if it's only just a little bit, is important. And take a picture of you watching your favorite show on Netflix and say, you know, talk about what you love about it. You know, this episode, oh my gosh, on The Bachelorette, da da da. And then take a picture of that, put it up and say, you know, perks of having a side gig. I don't have to worry about my little side habit of reality TV. And so it's just a little bit. You're weaving it in through every single day. Try and share it if you can. I know a coach that every time her paycheck comes out on her coaching business, she literally does her, like, she almost does like a paycheck Thursday something, or financial freedom Friday, or I can't remember, but every paycheck she relates the dollar amount to something, to a bill that she can apply it to. She's not making crazy amounts of money, but the people who might need this opportunity aren't looking to make crazy amounts of money. It might be a huge difference. Used to go to the grocery store and have to put half of my items away because we couldn't afford to pay for groceries. You know, so having that extra $100 a month might really change someone's life. So by you degrading that dollar sign, you're taking that opportunity away from somebody. So find ways to share it in snippets, and without having to think it has to be some big, bold financial post. Don't be afraid of sharing the hustle. So if you're on this call, you know that this business requires hustle, and it requires dedication, it requires sacrifice. And that is not something to be ashamed of. You want to attract people who are willing to walk alongside you and hustle with you and sacrifice with you. My most successful coaches on my team are freaking hustlers. They are social workers who work in the pockets when they're in court. They send out 5 invites while they're waiting for court to start. And, there are people who make it work in their day, not making an excuse that they don't have time. And so don't be afraid of sharing the hustle of you getting up early and working your business, or going to bed late and working your business, working during your kids' nap times. Be bold in sharing that, because you're going to attract that type of coach. If you just post an income post and be like, and they don't ever see the behind the scenes of what you're doing, they're going to be like, wow, well, she can make that much money and not really be doing anything. No, we don't want them to think that. If you paint a picture that it's an easy business, you'll attract the people that are wanting a quick buck, and those aren't the kind of people that you want to fill your team with anyways. Share when you're working in the pockets of your day. So a lot of my coaches feel like they have super boring lives, and I know I have a super boring life. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm a coach, and I don't feel like I have a lot in between that. But in reality, that's my market. My market is moms who need a purpose, who crave community, who have terrible eating habits and want a healthy change. And so that's who I'm speaking to. Now, I have coaches that work full time, so they talk about working on their lunch break. They share pictures of them eating their lunch and working on their computer. I have a coach who commutes in California every day, and so on her 2-hour commute on the bus, she works her business and she shares about that. So share the pockets, because the reality is most people don't have 2 hours a day to sit down in one chunk of time. And so if you make it seem like every night from 9 to 11 you sit down and it's uninterrupted perfect time, that's not realistic to most people's lifestyles. Share the emotional, not just the financial. So you have to think back to why you became a coach in the first place. Yes, finances are a part of it, but that's only a small aspect, I feel like, of coaching. For me, I have longed my whole life to have friendships that were valuable, that were people that I wanted to spend time with, that were people who uplift me and encourage me. And so that's a huge part of what I share when it comes to coaching, because I want emotionally them to understand that it's not just about the paycheck, that it is about the community. And our tribe, like my team, is so tight. Like we are like a family, and they have each other's backs even when I'm not there. And that's what I want. I want them to thrive even when I'm not around. So be willing to share more than just the financial. Think about the emotional side and why you're a part. Why did you choose to join Stephanie's team? And share about that. Okay. Last one is post a call to action at least once a week, minimum. I'm talking like a clear call to action. You should be doing snippets constantly, but a clear call to action for coaching specifically once a week. I know that Stephanie I'm pretty sure she runs coach sneak peeks every month. I know that we do too. But post those call to actions, because your challengers in your challenge groups are going to be watching, and that's when I get my challengers to convert to coaches. Is they see my call to action, they've been watching my snippets, and they say, I want to know what this is all about, and they take the plunge. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is practice makes perfect. So being a leader really scares the pants off me. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, Stephanie is a natural. Like, I feel like this is her jam when it comes to leading a team. And I don't feel like that's my strength, but I've learned a lot from her. Challenge groups are my strength, but I refuse to let that limit me from being a kick A leader. Like, I want to be the kind of leader that my team is proud of. They know that I will forever fail forward with them and work my hardest for them, but I don't have it all figured out. And so I want to tell y'all a little story. So September, this past month, has probably been the hardest month of my entire business. I signed more business builders. So stupid. I signed more business builders in the first week of September than I have signed in the last probably 3 months combined. And I got so caught up in my head about my abilities to lead a team that I completely fell on my face. I did not lead those coaches the way that I should have, and I've had to kind of go back and do some damage control. But I got so caught up in what I felt I wasn't able to do, and I just kind of withdrew. But I encourage you to lean into the struggle. Lean in if you don't feel like you're good enough, because truth is, I have everything that it takes to be a leader. I just let myself get caught up in my head before it took me a few weeks. I was also pregnant, so I'm freaking hormonal as all get out. So, that plays into it too. But what I've learned is I have to be willing to fail forward. You have to take the jump to be a leader and learn how to fly on the way down. Nobody goes into this.
She'll probably come back. She's given us lots of stuff. I unmuted you, Jen, if you want to chat.
Thanks. I'm like, no.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
She's giving us lots of stuff. And I think that everything that she's saying is so appropriate for us and about like
Me.
Not defining ourselves, like thinking it's all about mindset. Like she's talking all about mindset.
Mm-hmm. The whole follow. Oh, it's left it.
She'll come back. It's okay. She knows what she's doing.
It is all about mindset. And I know like what she was just touching on, like when my life was so overwhelmed last month.
Can y'all hear me?
Really
We got you.
Yeah.
So embarrassing. My phone overheated, so now we're gonna rely on this. So I'm gonna finish up quick so that I can make sure I hit everything. So practice makes purpose. Be willing to fail forward in your business. I had to fail forward so many times I lost track, and learn how to fly on the way down. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
The first good? Okay. If you stay in the realm of planning and thinking, you're going to lose momentum and opportunity. You're going to get so caught up that you never take action in your business. You don't have to know how to invite to the coaching opportunity to just do it. Figure out what works for you, because it's going to take you some time to figure out your niche and how you want to recruit coaches. How you want to recruit coaches may be different than how Stephanie wants to recruit coaches. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the perks of this business. To learn and grow. Every time I go through a season like in September when I really struggled, I was willing to go back and reflect and say, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I did well. Now, what do I do going forward, and what's my game plan now? Do not crucify yourself if you think something fails, and I'm going to put fails in quotation marks. So if you're willing to try when it comes to challenge groups or free groups or social media, I can look at Time Hop and see when I was, how far I've come in the way that I'm sharing the coaching opportunity. Run team calls with a friend, ask to speak on online calls, create teams with anyone, and then with the hearts.
Hey, Rachel.
Rachel? Yeah.
We're cutting out.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No.
No? Okay. I think I'm good if that. Can you hear me now?
I think we're starting to.
Okay. All right. So it's hard.
Hey, Rachel, I'm sorry. We can't hear you. It keeps breaking up. I hate for you to waste your breath.
Yeah.
No.
I'm good. I'm done.
Okay, you're done. Okay. Thank you
I'll share with you the
much.
slides.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much. When you had jumped off, everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's giving us so much value. So I just want to say thank you so much for jumping on. I know you're crazy busy as well and taking the time to talk with us. So ladies, Rachel is one of the other girls leading this push group for the end of the year. So she's going to give value in that group too. Like, and we might get to watch, not physically, but watch her have a baby. So it could be fun. So if you guys want to join that, I would love for you guys to join that with us. I'm going to open it up. Who has questions? I'm sure we've got some questions in here. Everyone's unmuted, so everyone can be chatty if you want to. Brooke, what question? I'm sure you have a question. What questions do you have? Nothing? Do you have any questions about inviting to the business?
No, I mean,
No?
not really. I like the idea. I was telling Linda the other day, like, for me, inviting in general is just so much easier when I have something to invite to.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when it's like, oh, my next challenge group is next month, you know, like, so that's why I have, like, Taylor and I are going to do another challenge group, like a free group. I like the what is coaching stuff to be able to just be like, you can always plug someone into something. Like every other week, something is happening. So there's always something to invite to. And then I don't feel so like flustered with what do I say when I invite, you know what I mean? So like I really like it just finally like clicked in my head when I made my calendar of like my month. So like I need to always have something going on, inviting to. It makes it so much easier for me to invite to.
Agreed. There should always be something to invite to, whether it's something you're doing yourself or if you don't have the time and energy, invite to something I'm doing. But always have something to invite to for sure. Does anyone have a question on what they're inviting to right now? Everyone know what they're inviting to? No response means yes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay. Jen, do you have any questions?
Not at this.
Okay.
Just jot everything down. I'm sure if I do, I will definitely message you or calling you or whatever. Rachel, thank you so much. Like, I got a ton of information from you, so this is so awesome.
Good, I'm glad. I don't even know if you can hear me right now. It's a hot mess. Like, Stephanie and I are a pair.
Yes.
No, you guys, my call with her team, y'all should have seen it. Like the kids were putting chalk in their diapers. They took their diapers off. I hid in the closet for part of it. Like it was my life.
It was funny.
It was my life. Like
It was funny. So now you know I'm the exact same way. I try to be all professional. I make you a pretty slideshow, and this is what I get for trying.
No, Rachel, you're not the exact same way. Wait for about 2 months when you have 2 babies, and then wait for about 6 months when you have 2 toddlers. Then it's going to be like that. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Listen, I'm going to live in my happy bubble right now, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, so your happy bubble belly. That's as happy as it's going to get. All right, guys, let's jump off. We are all doing our power hours today, fighting, pushing that momentum, moving forward. I am so excited to get to see, I'm going to see all of you in the next 2 weeks. All of you, except for Rachel. I hope to see Rachel. But I get to see all of the rest of your faces, and I'm so excited to squeeze
You're
you
not
out.
going to see me.
What? Why won't I see you?
Well, when you leave, you won't see me.
I'll see you Thursday, right? Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
Wednesday.
Not
And
Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, Wednesday
I'll be
and
there.
Thursday. You'll be there. I'll see you Wednesday and Thursday.
I thought you were leaving in this week for some reason.
I leave next Thursday night, so I will see you
Okay. I thought you left tonight. I'm crazy.
next
Okay,
week.
cool.
Next week.
Yeah, you'll see me next week. One more week.
All right. Well, you guys all go do the things. If you haven't scheduled a one-on-one with me, I want a one-on-one with you. So please schedule a one-on-one with me if you have not scheduled your time. I think it's very valuable. I think that there's questions that you all have individually that I can help address on a one-on-one. So please schedule your time with me. And, and Linda says, wait till you have 5 kids. No, thanks. No, we're good. See ya. Peace out. You're the only crazy one for that. I'll stick with maybe 3. But All right. I will chat with you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Love you all. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.